Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
Kanye West gets worse. Expose the new documentary.
You guys, we need to talk about Kanye West because he has released a new documentary about his life and he is not looking good. He is screaming at Kris
In
Jenner.
Whose
The clip has gone
Name.
viral and everyone is just coming.
That's the name of the documentary. It says In Whose Name.
From Kanye to Ye, in whose name? A film by Nico Ballesteros.
I remember a long time ago, he used to have a guy who would just film, and he said he was doing this. This is a project that's probably like years and years and years and years in the making. So I'm curious to see if this is it.
Okay.
At him. They feel bad for the Kardashians, which is not something that you hear very often, but we're going to get into what this documentary entails and what people are saying online. The documentary, In Whose Name, directed by Nico Ballesteros, begins by looking back at Kanye West's career and the first cracks in his public image. It opens with the cancellation of his planned tour with Lady Gaga in the aftermath of the Taylor Swift VMA incident, where he went on stage, interrupted her speech, and it was this whole big situation. Obviously,
They
it led
captured
to him and
that.
Taylor having beef for years. That was never fully resolved. I know they tried to be friends for a hot second there, but it was never going to be anything. Ultimately, that VMA incident was an early sign of how controversy would repeatedly derail his opportunities. Now, we skip a few years and hear Kanye bring up being off his meds for a couple of months, telling Kim about how it's his calling by the universe, and throughout the documentary is constantly referencing his hospitalization in 2016 after abruptly canceling the remainder of his St. Pablo tour. The hospitalization
Why was he hospitalized, you know?
I'm not too sure. It seems like she said that he's just stopped taking his meds, but I don't know.
a large role in this film, even though it was never shown, but it feels like something that Kanye is constantly bringing up as this breaking point almost. His experience through that and the way the media talked about him seems to have strained his relationship with family and also fueled this distrust of the media and industry figures in the years that followed in just how they talked about him. And the film touches on his political awakening from when he started wearing the red Trump hat in 2018 and delivered a very pro-Trump speech on Saturday Night Live, saying that they bullied him and told him not to go on stage and wear the hat, among other.
That's interesting on SNL. That's a very liberal platform. So
Mhm.
for him to do that, probably banned for life from there.
Other things like saying every time you have a black subject matter like Bill Cosby that you have to have a black comedian talking about him. Cast member Michael Che confronted him afterward, especially about the comedian line, which he said that he felt like was about him, but Kanye claimed that he was saying that about somebody else. Michael also asked
Oh
Kanye
yeah,
why he
they
even
say
called
he
out.
got he got like intimidated by this comedian Michael Che. All of a sudden
Who is this guy?
he's a comedian on SNL.
The cast saying that they loved him at SNL and that they did not deserve to be called out on stage on TV in that way, especially if they weren't going to be able to give a response. Kanye just seemed frustrated, saying that his issue was not with Michael, it was with SNL. And there was just this tense moment where the two of them were talking about what
That's
just went
him?
down
Yeah.
on SNL, and a third
He
party had to
looks
come
vaguely
in and kind of
familiar.
calm things down and ask for the cameras to also stop recording. In the doc, he says that wearing the hat was about resisting control, but at the same time, he admitted that politics kind of scared him, that he felt his life was in danger when wearing it and when associating with politics. And even when he visited the White House, he told staff that he needed to come inside for his safety because he feared for his life and that whenever he's wearing his hat, his life is in danger. The film also captures how Kanye tried to blame the Kardashians for contributing to his mental health struggles, and Kris Jenner is seen in the doc breaking down in tears at one point as she is confronting Kanye, wanting him to take his medication, be okay, and Kanye saying he would rather be dead than be on his medication, and wanted Kris to admit that their family, the Kardashian Jenner family, was responsible for his mental health. He claims that no.
Why? Where's the accountability for
No
yourself?
one in the family was owning up to how they have an effect on him in his mental health. And Kris responds saying that they did have an effect on his mental health, but that, what people say online shouldn't be important. What matters is what people close to him think, and that she loves him and expresses a wish for him to be perfect and for Kim to be able to love Kanye the way he wants to be loved. After this, we see Kanye and the family go on a trip to Uganda, and Kim is emotional. She is sitting with people close to Kanye, and they are all pleading with him that he wasn't like this a couple years ago, and he does need to listen to people. And Kim is talking about how he has got to accept being told no, reminding him that people say no to her all the time, and she doesn't lash out in response. It was after this trip that it seemed that he took a step back from talking about politics because he was extremely paranoid. Even on this trip, he was paranoid about his own safety. So things calmed down. Him and Kim renewed their vows. She promised to be by his side, and he was entering the Sunday service era, presenting himself as reborn and more grounded in his faith. But in 2020, Kanye returned to politics by running for president. And around this time, he was also obsessed with building this new world in Wyoming, experimenting with sustainable Yeezy projects and
Oh, like a tank.
architecture. But he was continuing with these crazy statements that caused chaos online and fans to question if they wanted to support him. And in him getting back into politics and going on these rants, he had once mentioned that him and Kim had considered not having North. And it was soon after that that him and Kim had filed for divorce, citing that they just could not make it work. The documentary
Not having North, so as in not conceiving or aborting.
Aborting.
That's kind of fucked up to say.
Because they had this topic a while ago. I remember this conversation, and I think at that point they didn't know if they would have her or not, because at that point she was still married to Chris Humphries, and it was kind of like a messy situation, and she wasn't engaged or anything to Kanye West at this time.
That's not something you say. The kid is alive. The kid can hear that, understand that. That can do some serious damage to the kid.
It also shows Kanye's belief that he was untouchable. It seemed like he thought that he could say anything and that he would face no consequences. He often spoke as if Adidas
said
could
worse
never afford
things.
to lose him. And
There's so many bad things he has said that I feel like that's gonna have an impact on his kids.
that he made the company billions of dollars.
Yeah, but imagine this is like basically, oh, we never wanted. Oh, not like we never wanted you, but oh, we weren't sure if we want you. It's like kind of I don't know. So I don't imagine hearing that as a kid.
It seemed to be why he felt like he could say any and everything, because he was so valuable to the company. He just thought that they would never be able to get rid of him. They couldn't afford that type of loss. But as we know, the company did end up cutting ties with him after his anti-Semitic comments. And rather than slowing down, he doubled down, most infamously with his White Lives Matter shirts, seemingly refusing to acknowledge the real-world harm that his words caused. At this point, no one wants to work with him. Live Nation, AEG, they've reportedly refused to book him for tours, and even the Sphere in Las Vegas turned him down. Throughout the film, Kanye struggles to articulate what his story even is. He repeatedly complains that the media wants him to talk about being bipolar, but pushes back and reframes it as him being misunderstood, more himself off his meds, or targeted by outside forces. Essentially, he's aware that people interpret his outbursts as symptoms of mental illness, yet he resists that narrative because he doesn't want to be defined by it. Instead, he frames his behavior as intentional, political, spiritual, or even visionary, anything but a mental health crisis. He seems desperate to create, desperate to control his narrative, but also like trapped by his own actions, in an inability to take criticism or advice from those around him or loved ones, and clearly was what came between him and Kim. The Kardashians are extremely controversial, but those online have expressed the one thing about her is that she stood by Kanye.
That he's able to continue to move forward because he's gonna keep around people that continue to say yes to him. So him being in the new relationship, him being around his new team, and they're saying yes, 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 it's gonna continue to promote this bad behavior for him.
Okay.
As a person that used to love Kanye, and I used to argue people down about how he was just misunderstood and y'all just don't get it, y'all taking it out of context, I used to sound just like the MAGA people be sounding about Trump. But I say all of this to say y'all will never gaslight me into believing that Kim Kardashian was a bad wife to him and that she's the reason that he ended up the way that he is now. I don't think Kanye ever had good intentions for Kim Kardashian. I feel like he became so fixated on her beauty and the status that she was able to obtain without having a talent per se. And I feel like he got with her because he wanted to control and belittle her. And once she wasn't letting that happen no more, that's when he really started airing out shit. I feel like she could have been exposed Kanye for who he truly is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But she always kept it quiet about him.
I am not a Kim Kardashian fan. I do have to put respect on how she handles what I feel like would be stressful, chaotic situations. Let's talk about it. I just saw video clips of something that Kanye actually put out himself, but I guess he's doing this like documentary behind the scenes. I'm not sure what
he's out himself, and he don't look good. So it's kind of interesting. Like I think he
Thinks he looks good, I guess.
Or he loves negative reinforcement.
I guess that's
Negative
possible too,
attention.
putting out. But it's him kind of going off on Kim and one of his relatives. He's extremely heightened in regards to his emotions, and he's just kind of going off. And you can see that Kim's becoming emotional in the sense of like starting to cry. But one of the things that I've always found fascinating about Kim, but I do think it's possibly a trauma response, is her ability to stay calm, cool, and collected in a chaotic, overwhelming, stressful situation.
The Kanye West documentary cannot be doing what Kanye.
The thing
assumed
is
it would
also
do, because tell me
the
why.
cameras are on too, and she's aware that the cameras are filming,
True.
and she's smart.
And he's not.
I sit here just feeling bad for Kim Kardashian. There's an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashian where Kim said that staying calm has always been her superpower. And I'm starting to think that was something she learned, not only from the Paris robberies, but from Kanye, because the way that man reacts as soon as he is told no is worse than a 5-year-old.
Ultimately, it seems he insists he is more himself off medication, and he only wants people around him that get what his purpose on earth is. But longtime fans feel sad at the turn of events, like Michael Che tried to say that they were a fan but can't stand by what things have turned into. And in the end, Kanye seems willing to risk it all just to do what he wants, no matter the cost. And he's at peace with that. It seems like he acknowledges everything that he's lost at the end, but he still seems like he's kind of okay with that. But it doesn't make the downfall any less tragic. So that's what's recently come out about Kanye. I certainly want to know what you guys think. If you've seen this doc, if you've seen clips from it, let me know all your thoughts. I love you guys so much.
I wonder where is this gonna come out on what platform? What access or platform does he have to put this documentary out?
I was thinking movies.
In the movies, the
yeah.
theaters. Can I see the comments?
Yeah, interesting video. I don't feel like I got anything out of it, to be honest. Like kind of like
What's
a recap,
worse?
like a
What's worse?
recap. But I watched the doc and I kept asking, did he think this was
Where?
going to make him look good? That's what you said.
Mm.
Where was this documentary released? So it's released in the select movie theaters. Okay, yeah, so select movies. Yeah, I don't honestly. I don't even
Yeah.
think you could watch it. It's no platform is probably gonna sanction it. So
Yeah.
it's probably it's lucky. You have no right to blame others for your mental health struggles
Yeah,
if you
I
yourself are
agree.
not taking responsibility for yourself by taking your meds. Kane is so out of line for that. Kanye. Yeah, I think that
He does not look good.
yeah, you can't. It's mental health. I think is genetic. You're probably like born with it, right? I don't think it's something that Kim or her family made him acquire. Like, oh, they made you bipolar. I don't think you can turn someone bipolar. I don't think that's how it works. Now I'm no, doctor. I don't know for sure, but it's just to me. I don't like you can. I guess maybe if you go through like some serious trauma, maybe.
Maybe so. You go
No,
through traumatic events.
But like, what trauma could Kim put him through to like create that? I don't think that's. To me, that would be something like getting kidnapped, like like in war, there's PTSD, like that type of stuff. But to develop a bipolar disorder because of disagreeing with the wife or something, I don't know. That's kind of reaching a little bit, in my opinion.
Okay. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.